You got to give me something. This gives me nothing, and this is a very expensive nothing. Hi guys, Keeter64 here, and today we're going to be talking about the Middle-earth 31-disc Ultimate Collection and why people don't like it, why people hate this, why this is the worst Lord of the Rings physical media release that I've ever seen. And I'm not alone in this response. Now, maybe I don't dislike it as much as some other people, but there's a lot of hate out there for this box set, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. This is kind of an unofficial sequel to my which box set is worth it video that I did last year. 1 year ago, the 4K of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit was released. There were multiple box sets of those releases. There was a steelbook set for Lord of the Rings. There was the 4K, the base set, and there was a special edition box set that included the One Ring. Overall, that release was handled pretty well, I think. There was a lot of good response from fans. I liked it. I like the options available. However, I didn't get the one I wanted because it sold out very quickly. And so I ended up getting the basic 4K set. I wanted the steelbook, but I was not able to find it, and I didn't want to pay scalpers to get it. So, but I've been very happy with the quality of the 4K release. I like the way it looks. They did remove some film grain, so if that's something that bothers you guys, you probably didn't like it as much. I liked it. I like the removal of the film grain to give it more of a digital look. However, sometimes I do like watching the film grain, but guess what? I own all of the releases of Lord of the Rings. So if I want film grain, I'll just watch the Blu-ray set, which in my opinion, the Blu-ray collection here, this is the best of the Lord of the Rings releases. This is all the extended versions in it. This has tons of special features. I think there's like 26 hours of special features on this set. It's just an amazing box set, and they did a great job with it. Outside of that, I have the DVD extended box sets, which these are the best looking actual boxes in my opinion. I think they did a great job with these releases. Lots of special features. This is when special features were really hitting their stride on the physical media, and the special features on this are just as good as the movies. There is just so much stuff to sift through. They're literally, the special features have more of a runtime than the movies, just like this, which included, I think, all, if not most, of what was on the DVDs. So these have been really good releases with special features, right? If you got the individual Blu-rays, these also had special features on them. The 4K was released, no special features. Okay, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan and you are a collector and you're one of the people like me who just sits there and buys the same movies over and over again every time there's a format quality change, then you want the special features. You want them, even if you're included on a DVD, such as in this. They released the movies on Blu-ray for this. The special features were on DVDs because what it was they pulled the stuff from the DVD releases. However, I didn't care as much that the special features were missing for this, only because I have the other ones if I want to watch them. However, I think taking the time to take all these amazing special features, all this footage that you have, again, 26 hours of special features for this release. Taking the time to upgrade that to HD quality and putting it on something like that you want to call a Middle-earth 31-disc Ultimate Collector's Edition. You want to call it that, and not have any special features. Zero. That's why this is the most hated box set, surely out of the Lord of the Rings releases. One of the most hated box set releases I've seen, as far as from how people in the physical media community are looking at this. I'm glad I didn't wait a year for this release. I'm not a big Hobbit fan. I don't dislike it necessarily. I do own the Hobbit movies on the regular Blu-ray releases back behind me, but I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Still, how are you going to have an Ultimate Collector's Edition? You're going to call it that, and not have any special features. That's why people are upset with this release in particular. I want to take a look at some of the reviews here in a second, but I do just want to say, not only are they not including special features on this release, again, they didn't have any of the special features on the 4K release, right? If you wanted to buy Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit right now, the individual 4Ks, they're going for about $70 to $80 if you can find them right now. So with that high end, $160, right? If you look at what the Middle-earth 31 disc collector's edition is going for right now, it's going for, on sale on Amazon, $214, base price $250. And what do you get for all of that extra? Again, base sets. If you want to buy both of these, just the base sets, high end, $160. So they want $220 for this. So an extra $50 with the base price is $250. You want somebody to pay an extra $50, $60, $70, $80 for a box. Now, I am a physical media collector. I'm one of those people who will be like, oh yeah, that's not too crazy. If you are a collector, you are buying something like this for these special features. You're buying this because you are a fan of these movies. You want everything that was released, right? You don't want an ultimate collection to just have the movies. 31 discs. That's what this is hyped as. 31 discs. Best I can tell, 30 of the discs are just the movies. They're just the Blu-rays and the 4K, the extended and theatricals. That's it. They don't even include the 3Ds of movies of The Hobbit. How is this an Ultimate Collector's Edition? You don't even include the 3D versions of The Hobbit. Again, you're the one hyping this as the Ultimate Collector's Edition. 6 films, Ultimate Collector's Edition, Middle-earth. And you're not going to include the 26 hours of special features. It's just the base movies. You know what special features come with this? You do get 1 or 2. And I don't know as far as hours it goes, like 2 hours. They don't even put it in a box. It gets an individual cardboard slip as if it's a bonus disc on a Nickelback CD. Look at this graph! What? That's all you get? What a ripoff. It's literally just a Stephen Colbert interview with some of the cast. So, that's it? That's all you're going to include on an Ultimate Collector's Edition? Really? Again, I'm a fan of boxes. I will go out and rebuy a steelbook of a movie I already own just because I think the steelbook's cool. I like the graphic design art on it, and I want to get it. I will buy a special collector's edition if there's something that's bonus, there's some added value. There's no added value in this collector's edition. There's nothing about this that collectors want. Outside of the box, I think the box seems kind of cool. But again, this is just, it's a disappointment. It's a disappointment. I probably wouldn't have gotten it anyway, because again, I'm not a huge Hobbit fan, and I already got the 4K. However, if you wanted someone like me to buy this again for the 5th time, as I showed you, I basically upgrade every time they have a release of Lord of the Rings, you got to give me something. This gives me nothing, and this is a very expensive nothing. So let's just look at what you actually get with this box set real quick. So this is the 20th anniversary Lord of the Rings release. That's what this is touted as, right? You got the box set. It's kind of cool. It kind of has this like conversion to it. It opens up. It's pretty nice, but again, not worth $70 for a box. It just isn't. These actually have just standard 4K boxes with slips on them. I think the slips do look kind of cool, but I think the steelbooks, the covers of the steelbooks look better than these. They're not bad, but again, unless you're going to take them out and display the covers, it doesn't really matter what they look like at the end of the day, because most likely you're going to be keeping them in the box, assuming you actually buy this. Premium gift box, I'm not exactly sure what this is. And again, this right here, exclusive special features Blu-ray disc. To honor the 20th anniversary of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Alamo Drafthouse reunited Middle-earth's finest for 3 special conversations hosted by Stephen Colbert. Oh great, I can go to sleep to another late night show host. Also included is the Festivus de Cannes presentation reel. So you get two two special features that weren't included. And one was an interview with Stephen Colbert. I mean, you don't even give it its own box. It shows how much you actually care about the special features, or how some people call them supplementals. There's a 64-page booklet. I'm sure that's kind of cool. And 7 travel art cards. I think the art cards look pretty nice. Maybe if these were on disc plates or something, or mini posters, you can actually frame and put on the wall or something. That might be kind of cool. But that's it. That's what you get with the collector's edition. Again, big deal. This is the 20th anniversary of Lord of the Rings. You're gonna nix all of the special features you've previously released. You're gonna give us hardly anything in a slip. You're not gonna include 3D releases of The Hobbit. You're gonna tout 31 discs when 30 of the discs are just the base movie. They're just the theatrical and extended cuts, and that's it. Let's take a look at some of the reviews real quick. Now, normally I like the reviews on Best Buy. I found them usually to be a little bit more interesting. However, Best Buy has not allowed reviews because the movie actually doesn't release till tomorrow, at least at the time of me filming this. By the time I get it out to you guys, it'll probably have been out for a couple days. But I can't pull from those because you can't do the reviews. However, Amazon doesn't care. So let's look at this, one of the top reviews here. Ultimate Collector's Edition with only 1 bonus featured disc. Wow, exactly what I said. This product is an absolute joke. The previous DVD and Blu-ray releases of these 6 films set the high bar for how movie extras should be presented. 100% agree with you. This release doesn't include a single legacy feature and only includes a single disc of extra material. Don't waste your money for a blatant cash grab. If you want these movies in 4K, save $100 and buy the original 4K sets. Yeah. As I said, high side, you're going to be paying for this is $160. So again, you're looking at $70, $80, $100 to get this box, to get a box, not Ultimate Collection. Rating 1 star because this is not an Ultimate Collector's Edition. It's missing extra features already released on previous Blu-rays. Also, the packaging is cheap for the price they're charging. No real effort was put on this release. They're basically the same discs received last year, and all they claim is some extra features on some Alamo Draft Reunion. Not worth $250. If for $150, that could be more reasonable, but not $250 for this packaging and missing key features. Shame, since I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. The only thing I would disagree with, I think there was some effort in the actual design of the box, because based on what I've seen from the design of the box, it's a little bit unique. It's a little bit different than some of the other things. But again, outside of that, the content is what a lot of the physical media collectors are buying. It's not just the box designs. It's not just... You want all the features, right? You do, especially on something called an Ultimate Collection. This guy was nice. He gave it 2 stars instead of the 1. Appears to be far from an Ultimate Collector's Edition. The movies are spectacular, but the theatrical and extended versions of all 6 films have already been released on 4K UHD. It would seem that the only benefit of owning this new set is the remastered HD Blu-ray disc, but if you have the capability of watching these films on 4K, why would the Blu-ray disc be that important? This set does not appear to include the glut of extras that have previously been released, like the appendices in parts 1 through 12. What he's talking about is the appendices that was in these releases, as well as they were included in the Blu-ray set. The Chronicles of the Hobbits, part 1 through 3, etc. Any serious fan probably owns these already. That's true. I do. But there might be a new generation of fans out there who weren't old enough to buy the previous releases when they came out. The new set also does not include the 3D versions of any of these movies. Peter Jackson filmed these movies in 3D, and both the theatrical and extended versions of all 6 films are available in that format. This is far from an Ultimate Collector's Edition, since the only new upgrade are the remastered HD Blu-rays and a single disc of extras. The 4K versions have already been released in 2020, and there's a whole lot of other stuff missing. Yeah, so... I agree with you. I wasn't aware of the remastered Blu-rays. Again, I think one of the main differences in the 4K versus the Blu-ray was the what's called digital noise reduction, or removing a film grain. I'm not an expert on this, but I can visually see what I'm looking at, and I've watched the Blu-ray enough and have been able to compare it to the 4K to know that the 4K gives you a more modern digital looking film, as opposed to the Blu-ray release that had a little bit more film grain in it, a least that's based on what I have seen. Some people may have different opinions on that. It's just what I visually see. But if I want the film grain, if I want the Blu-ray, I'll put that one in. But I bought the 4K because I wanted the 4K UHD version. And most likely that's why people are buying a more current Middle-earth Ultimate Collector's box set, is because they want the most current format. That's what you want. That's why you're buying it. This person gave it 1 star. 4K Lord of the Rings transfers are awful. Too much DNR. That's the digital noise reduction I was just talking about. Again, it's all a preference. I don't mind DNR. I actually like it on some movies. I dislike it on others. It depends on what I'm in the mood for at the time and what type of movie it is. So I don't necessarily have a hard and fast rule on which my preferences are. I think that I've already got the one with less DNR, which is the Blu-ray. And if I want to watch that version, I have that version available. If I want to watch something with more DNR, I've got the 4K, which is the reason I bought it. Before you spend $250 on this, know that all 3 Lord of the Rings films have been given excessive DNR, digital noise reduction. Not only does everyone look like an unnatural porcelain doll, but the DNR has ironically removed detail and caused the effects to poorly blend in with the environments. Do some research on it. The Blu-rays look much better. Yes, even the extended fellowship with the green tint. Yeah, I don't know if I really noticed the green tint on extended fellowship, but it could be there. Like I said, I'm not necessarily an expert on this. I don't really think they look like porcelain dolls based on watching the 4K. I think it's all a matter of perspective. Like, everybody's has a different perspective on it. The Hobbit are direct digital 4K transfers, but they have also been recolorized to have a consistent look. It's very orange throughout all 3 movies. It doesn't look as good to me, and call me crazy, but if I'm watching 3-hour movies, I would like some visual variety. These 4K releases were a massive blunder. Save your money. Yeah, so maybe I'll disagree with it a little bit on the DNR. I think if you're going to release a 4K set, you want it to look a little bit different than what the Blu-ray. I mean, that's just my opinion. So that way you get a little bit more variety on what you want to watch. I recently did this with the Star Wars 4Ks. The Star Wars 4Ks I just bought for early Black Friday, and they look very different than the Blu-ray releases, and it's good to have the variety. So I have a choice of what kind of version of the movie I want to watch. So that's kind of my thoughts on this 31 disc Ultimate Middle-earth Collection, Ultimate Collector's Ultimate Edition. I think it's a massive disappointment. I think it's one of the worst physical media collection releases that I've seen in a very long time, for sure. And I get why people don't like it. I get why the top reviews are all negative, 1-2 star reviews. It has nothing to do with the movies. The movies have been previously released. Highly recommend watching them if you've never seen Lord of the Rings. But most likely, if you're watching this video, you have seen Lord of the Rings, you like Lord of the Rings, and maybe you were curious about why people didn't like this box set. My only regret is that I didn't get the Steelbook. That's my only regret in regards to the 4K releases. I'm glad I didn't wait for this thing. I really am. This was talked about a year ago, and I decided not to wait. I decided to just go ahead and get the 4K because I wanted to watch it. I'm happy with it, even though it's just the base set. Yeah, this is a massive disappointment because overall they've been very good at releasing Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings releases set the standard for physical media releases, for what you could do with special features and how much they could add to the movies. But what do you guys think? Have you guys has anybody bought this thing? That's one of the questions I have. I do follow someone on YouTube called Films at Home. His name is Jeff. He did a early review of this, so that's where I got an idea what the box actually looks like. I'd previously known that the special features were going to be lacking, that they weren't going to do it because they weren't even on this. So my assumption was that maybe they were saving it for this collector's edition, but probably not. So I wasn't very surprised. The only thing I was surprised about was the amount that they were asking for what they were giving. And for an Ultimate Collector's Edition, it's just craziness. But anyway, like I said, I'm curious as to what you guys think. Do you think this is getting some undue hate? I think it's overpriced, but I mean, maybe somebody else doesn't. Maybe somebody did wait a whole year and didn't pick up the 4Ks, and this is the edition that they were waiting for. I don't know, but I found this to be a massive disappointment. I'm curious what you guys think. Like I said, comment and let me know. I've got some more physical media videos coming up. I try and release them every Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. It hasn't been working out so far since I've been back, but that is the goal. And I might do a video where I get more into depth with the physical media releases of Lord of the Rings. Perhaps, like I said, I've got all of them. I've even got the DVDs back there on the shelf. So I think I've got every release of Lord of the Rings that they've put out. So comment, let me know. Thank you for sticking around on this video. There's some recommendations for some other videos at the end of this video. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geechu64, and I'll always tell you the truth.